In a dark, dusty library, a young girl opens an old book and begins to read. She reads about a powerful wizard named Ike, who served directly in the Demon King's army. Ike was known as the grandson of the great wizard Romberg. The story begins as Ike invades a heavily guarded human castle. His massive army of terrifying ghouls easily smashes through the stone walls and battles the human knights. Wearing a dark, hooded cloak and a face mask, Ike walks straight into the throne room, holding a glowing magical scepter. The human king glares at him and says, "I do not think I need to ask who you are. You must be the commander of the Demon King's army." Ike calmly replies, "I am Ike, commander of the 17th Battalion of the Immortal Demon King's army. You currently have 3 options. First, surrender now and give up your lands. Second, kill yourself with your own sword. And third, try to run away and I will enjoy the moment." Surprised, the king asks, "You are a demon, yet you show mercy." He then grips his sword and yells, "But none of these options suit me." He jumps forward to attack. Ike simply raises his scepter and casts a deadly spell that instantly kills the king. Ike then turns to his ghoul assistant, Jiron, and orders, "Heal him and treat all the soldiers who surrendered." At the same time, the powerful commander of the 7th Legion, named Severo, watches everything through a magical crystal. She is the only person in the world who knows Ike's deepest secret. She smiles and says to herself, "It only took his single battalion to conquer the city of Arsenum in just 1 week. Ike truly has the incredible capabilities I expected." Meanwhile, Ike locks himself inside a quiet room, casts a strong magic barrier, and takes off his mask. He sighs, talking to himself. "The battle is finally over, but I would be lying if I said I didn't feel guilty for hurting all these people. That is because I am actually a human, not a demon." Ike remembers his past. His teacher was Romberg, the great wizard who knew all the secrets of a highly advanced, lost civilization. Even though Ike was a human child, Romberg secretly took him in, raised him, and taught him powerful magic. In his final moments, Romberg warned Ike never to speak about the lost civilization because that knowledge could bring absolute disaster to the world. Ike remembers Romberg's final warning. "Never remove this cloak and mask, Ike. The Demon King will never forgive you if he finds out your true identity." Ike looks around the room and says, "Well, I placed a strong barrier here, so no one can enter without my permission." But suddenly, he hears a soft, trembling voice coming from under the desk. A young girl dressed as a maid is hiding there. She cries, "Please do not kill me. I did not see anything." Panicking, Ike thinks to himself, "I hid my secret identity for 20 years, and I get exposed just like this." Suddenly, Jiron knocks loudly on the door. Ike quickly puts his mask back on, and they walk outside into the conquered city. Jiron looks around and says, "We managed to seize the castle easily, but do you not think you are leaving way too many humans alive?" Ike calmly replies, "Do not worry. The new Demon King is not like the old ones. He only cares about actual results." Jiron argues, "But the other commanders said we could just kill everyone and burn the city to the ground." Ike shakes his head. "If we kill everyone, who is going to pay our taxes? Arsenum is a major trade city. Who will do business here if no one lives in it?" Realizing the logic, Jiron agrees. Ike then stands before the terrified townspeople. One brave man steps forward and asks, "How much money are we supposed to pay to the Demon King's army?" Ike answers, "Exactly the same amount you used to pay your king before." The townspeople cheer with pure joy and relief. However, Ike warns them, "But remember, anyone who dares to oppose the Demon King's army will be severely punished, no matter who they are." Suddenly, Ike's vision goes dark. He magically vanishes and reappears in a strange, dark room. A massive heavy stone golem is standing right behind him. Ike quickly dodges its heavy punch and sighs again. The monster charges forward. Ike pushes it back and yells, "You promised me you would not summon me so suddenly." He quickly summons his scepter and blasts the golem into pieces with a strong spell. Severo steps out from the shadows, smiling. She says, "The frightened little boy who used to hide behind his grandfather has grown into this powerful warrior." Annoyed, Ike asks why she summoned him. Severo replies, "The great Dairokten wants to see you personally. You are the very first battalion commander to ever receive such an honor." Ike asks why. Severo explains, "Because he was deeply impressed that you conquered the massive city of Arsenum in just a single week." Meanwhile, back in the castle room, the hiding maid slowly wakes up. She tries to leave but bumps into Ike's invisible magic barrier. She looks down and sees a nice plate of sweet treats with a small note that reads, "Eat this and stay exactly where you are." Ike and Severo arrive at the massive, dark gates of the Demon King's main castle. 3 large, scary ghouls are guarding it. Ike asks if the guards inspect everyone who enters. Severo replies, "Of course. Do not tell me you thought you could just walk up to the Demon King without a magic inspection." Ike gets nervous, asking if they will discover his human identity. Severo tells him not to worry and surrounds him with a thick, dark magical aura. The guard inspects Ike and says, "Your magic is incredibly impressive. Just as expected from Romberg's grandson." Surprised, Ike asks if the guard knew his grandfather. The guard laughs, stating that every demon in the world knows the great wizard. They finally reach the massive door of the Demon King's throne room. Severo tells Ike to wait outside while she speaks to the king first. While waiting, Ike thinks about the current Demon King Duraktan. This king completely turned the war against humanity around, giving the demons the ultimate advantage. Rumors say he is totally ruthless, sparing absolutely no one. He easily kills anyone he finds unworthy, even his own friends. However, if he finds someone useful, he uses their skills, even if they lack physical strength or magic. He judges everyone purely on their actual ability. By doing this, he completely revolutionized the demon army. In the past, demons hated cooperation and constantly fought each other, but the current king changed all of that. Severo opens the door and tells Ike to go inside. Ike walks in and is completely shocked to discover that the terrifying Demon King is actually a girl. She looks at him and says, "I heard you took over the highly fortified city of Arsenam in just 1 week." Ike politely replies, "Yes, but I only followed orders." The real credit goes to Commander Severo. The Demon Queen smiles slightly. "You are very humble, almost like a human." Ike freezes in panic. Severo quickly steps in, adding he is Romberg's grandson. The Queen nods. "I see. That completely explains it. Romberg was a man of very strange and deep thoughts. He never killed innocent people or publicly executed enemy commanders." Ike nervously thinks to himself that maybe he should have acted like a brutal demon and executed the human king publicly. But he knows he is human and simply cannot do that. He gathers his courage and tells the Demon Queen, "Humans feel fear, but they never truly obey those who only terrify them. History proves this. If we compare the total productivity of cities where leaders were executed to cities where leaders were kept alive, we will clearly know which method is better." The Queen asks if that was Romberg's personal opinion. Ike says yes. He secretly suspects that the Queen also knows about the ancient lost civilization and used that secret knowledge to rebuild the demon army. Suddenly, the Queen teleports right in front of his face. She looks closely at his mask and says, "You are very different from the other demons. Next time we meet, I want to see your real face behind that mask." She then turns and leaves. Ike panics and whispers to Severo, "I really thought my secret was exposed." Severo replies, "She actually gave you a reward. But honestly, from my point of view, it sounds much more like a punishment." Ike travels back to Arsenam and checks on the maid who discovered his secret. He finds her fast asleep. When he wakes her up, she immediately drops to her knees crying, "I am so sorry. Please do not kill me." Ike gently tells her to calm down and promises not to hurt her. He asks for her name. She replies 13. Ike says that is a very strange name. She explains that slaves are only called by numbers, but her mother used to call her Sadie. Ike sighs and says, "I cannot just let you leave now that you know I am secretly a human." Sadie promises she will never tell anyone. Ike decides to trust her but says, "From now on, you will be my personal maid, and you cannot refuse." Sadie happily agrees. Later, Ike returns to his army camp. Geron happily says, "Congratulations on being appointed as the new governor of Avalius." Ike remembers asking Severo why he was given Avalius. She explained it is located far south of Arsenam, meaning it will soon be the main front line of the war. It is a small city but highly important to the demon army. Ike's mission is to protect it and collect double the normal taxes. Ike tells Geron, "I will start by repairing the city walls." He asks how long that will take. Geron estimates at least 6 months. Ike confidently says, "1 month is more than enough." Geron is completely shocked, calling it impossible. Ike simply replies, "We will not just use human labor." The next day, Geron watches in total amazement. He says to himself, "This is the very first time I have ever seen humans and demons working peacefully together." Ike always surprises us. He divided the heavy work into 8-hour shifts so the construction goes on for 24 hours straight. Plus, he actually pays the workers to boost their morale. This guy is an absolute genius. Now I fully understand why they call him the smartest commander. Geron smiles as he watches Ike personally helping the workers lift heavy stones that they cannot carry themselves. The Demon King's army continues its massive invasion. Human wizards try to stop them from the top of their castle, but the ghouls easily throw heavy rocks and break through the walls. Meanwhile, the Demon Queen's assistant reports that the war against Rosera is going well, but the humans are trying to form an alliance with neighboring countries to turn the tide of the war. The Queen calmly decides to leave this problem to Ike. At the same time, Alester, the brave commander of the human White Rose Knights, meets with the king's deputy. He orders her to attack the city of Avalias immediately so that neighboring countries do not steal their glory. Elsewhere, Sadie and Ike are walking through a human city in normal clothes. Sadie stops to play a shell game. Suddenly, someone uses wind magic to lift the cups, revealing there is no ball underneath. The crowd realizes the man is cheating. Ike quickly grabs Sadie and gently scolds her for wandering off. She apologizes, saying she just wanted to try the fun city activities, and asks why Ike is dressed like a normal human. He explains they are secretly scouting and gathering information, so they must not draw any attention. As they walk, they see an army of knights marching through the streets. Ike realizes the rumors about the human alliance are true. He explains to Sadie that when countries face a shared enemy, they combine their armies to fight back. He mentions this has happened 3 times before, and the demons lost each time. Sadie asks if he is worried. Ike asks her why she is worried, noting that if the demons lose, she will be free. Sadly, Sadie replies that in human society, a slave child remains a slave forever. She points to kids locked in cages, saying she will end up just like them if Ike abandons her. Ike promises her the current demon commander is wise and strong, while secretly wondering how he can fix the broken relationship between humans and demons. Suddenly a voice yells to stop. The angry shell game cheater from earlier blocks their path, bringing a massive thug with him to get revenge. Unbothered, Ike pulls out his magical scepter, instantly freezes the giant thug's leg, and surrounds the cheater with sharp ice blades. Terrified, the cheater agrees to answer any questions. Ike asks why the city's army is in such a hurry. The man reveals that the local army plans to launch a massive surprise attack on the Demon King's army before the full alliance is formed. They want to attack the city of Avalius because they think it is weakly protected. At sunset, the White Rose Knights surround Avalius, ready to strike. A soldier notices it is suspiciously quiet. The commander orders the charge, but it is a massive trap. Suddenly, an army of skeletons bursts from the ground, ghouls fire arrows from above, and giant demons crush the front lines. Seeing no way to win, the commander quickly orders a full retreat. Watching from the castle roof, Ike praises the human commander's smart decision. Just then, an unknown sniper shoots an arrow right into Ike's back, knocking him completely unconscious. That night, the king's deputy is furious about the defeat. Even though Commander Alester is one of their best generals, he immediately orders his guards to throw her in prison to take the blame. Meanwhile, Ike wakes up in bed. Severo explains she saved him after he was shot in the back. Ike suspects a spy or a traitor inside the castle. He asks his assistant, Geron, to find out exactly where the humans took Commander Alester. The next day, Ike walks through the forest toward the human prison with Lilith, a demon servant. He plans to ask Alester a personal question. Lilith notes the security is weak and offers to break in. Ike tells her he wants a peaceful entry, but to his absolute shock, she instantly knocks out the guards. Inside the massive prison, Lilith handles the remaining guards using brutal torture, completely ignoring Ike's request for peace. Ike decides to look the other way and simply climbs the stairs. Ike finally reaches Alester's cell and walks in, but it seems empty. Suddenly, she jumps from the shadows and attacks him with a knife. He easily dodges her strikes and knocks her to the ground. She asks if he came just to mock a defeated general. He replies he only wants to know if she sent the assassin who shot him during the battle. She stands up, looks closely at his face, and asks, "Are you really a demon?" Ike freezes in pure panic. Suddenly, they hear the heavy footsteps of many guards rushing toward the cell. Alester quickly grabs him, puts her knife to his neck, and whispers, "Do not say that you are human." Ike casts a powerful magic spell. Alester suddenly feels completely frozen and wonders if time itself has stopped. Ike calmly explains that he simply weakened her senses, making the nearby guards move in extremely slow motion. He warns her not to move so she does not get hurt, then uses a blast of dark wind magic to blow the guards away. Suddenly, a giant knight sneaks up behind Ike and swings a heavy hammer. Ike quickly dodges and uses gravity magic. The metal floor completely cracks under the knight's weight, sending him falling. However, Ike gently softens the impact to save his life. Alester is totally confused, wondering why a demon would save a human guard. The ground beneath Alester starts to crumble, but Ike quickly jumps in and catches her safely. He introduces himself, stating that he is a member of the Demon King's army, which means he cannot be human. He asks if she was the one who sent an assassin to kill him during the last battle. Alester fiercely replies that she is a proud kingdom knight and has nothing to say to a demon, telling him to just kill her. Instead, Ike steps closer and uses a powerful mind-reading technique. After quickly finding the truth, he turns to walk away. Confused, Alester asks if he came just to mock her defeat. Ike softly tells her not to worry. He read her mind and confirmed she had absolutely nothing to do with the cowardly assassination attempt. Even though they are enemies, he kindly advises her not to be too hard on herself, noting that true strength comes from how a person reacts after losing. He then opens the gate and leaves the prison. By sunset, Ike returns to his office and shows Satie some tiny white grains he found in the capital. He explains that it is called rice. He reminds her that his main mission is to double the taxes collected from the city. He points out that Avalius has very fertile soil. While the people mostly grow wheat, planting rice produces much more food. With more food available, fewer people will need to work as farmers. Those extra workers can start manufacturing weapons or offering new services, making the entire city incredibly rich. Satie smiles warmly, totally amazed by how smart he is. Later, Ike meets with Geron, who has gathered the entire army as requested. Ike thinks about his gathered clues. The assassin's arrow came from the enemy's side, but Alester knew nothing. This meant there was definitely a traitor hiding among his own men. Ike uses his mind-reading magic on the entire army. He hears one extremely nervous soldier thinking, did they find out? In a flash, Ike teleports right in front of him, loudly exposing him as the spy. That night, Ike reports to Severo. He explains that the spy is the deputy of Jess, the commander of the one-eyed goblin battalion. Severo says she completely expected this. Ike notes that Jess is highly intelligent and a very strong warrior. Severo coldly declares that they will make him pay. The next day, one of Jess's soldiers reports that Ike survived the arrow and is now visiting their camp alone. Jess is shocked that his spy is unreachable and realizes his secret is fully exposed. He decides they must gather their forces and strike first. When Ike casually walks up to him, Jess brings out his massive army and mocks Ike for being careless. Ike agrees he should be more cautious, especially around traitors. Jess asks why Ike came alone if he knew the truth. Ike smirks and says his own army is ready to taste their blood. Suddenly, Severo rains massive, explosive fireballs down from the sky, completely destroying the goblin city. Hiding from the flames, Ike thinks Severo went way too far and destroyed too much of the city. He appears right behind Jess and demands his surrender. Jess orders his soldiers to attack. Ike unleashes a powerful wind, creates a strong magical barrier to block their flying spears, and strikes the goblins down with his scepter. Using his soldiers as a distraction, Jess jumps across the rooftops. A giant golem tries to punch him, but Jess dodges and successfully escapes into the forest. The following morning, Jess walks through the woods, proud that his secret escape path worked. Suddenly, a flying fireball knocks him hard to the ground. Ike steps out, revealing he tracked Jess using a tiny demonic insect. Jess quickly crushes the bug, but Ike tells him it is useless to resist. Jess fiercely refuses to surrender and attacks. Ike easily creates a magic shield, telling Jess his attacks are way too weak. With a blast of wind, Ike slams Jess into a thick tree and tightly binds him with magical vines. Trapped, Jess realizes why the Demon King values Ike so much. He offers Ike a dark proposal to team up and take over the Demon King's army together. Jess complains that being a demon is all about attacking humans and having fun, but the current Demon Queen strictly stops them from killing without a good reason. Ike instantly rejects the offer. Jess smirks, frees hand and throws a hidden knife. Ike easily dodges and casts his sense-weakening spell again. Severo suddenly steps out of the shadows, threatening to cut Jess's head off if he does not talk. But suddenly, Jess starts violently choking, and his skin changes color. Severo claims she did nothing. Realizing it is poison, Ike casts a healing spell, but it completely fails. The poison is too strong. Severo looks at the dying Jess and points out that his secret partners abandoned him. She promises to avenge him if he reveals their names. That night, Ike and Severo stand before the Demon Queen DubbedAnime. Severo reveals the shocking truth. The real mastermind behind the deadly conspiracy is Bastio, the commander of the 3rd Battalion. The Queen asks if they have any solid proof. Suddenly, they all look behind them and see a terrifying headless knight. The knight is holding his own helmet in his hand, with eerie green flames burning brightly right where his head should be. The headless knight stands silently in the room. DubbedAnime looks directly at Bastio, noting that his story does not match the truth. Bastio lies to her, claiming that Severo and Ike killed his deputy and framed him because they want to steal his 3rd Legion. He claims this is exactly the kind of sneaky scheme a sorceress like Severo would plan. Severo gets extremely angry and charges her magic, but DubbedAnime calmly stops her. The Demon Queen explains that as demons grow stronger, they naturally seek more wealth, glory, and authority. Ambition is what drives them, and if she killed every ambitious commander, she would have no army left. She turns to Bastio and reveals she knew about his dark schemes all along. Then she looks at Severo. While Severo is loyal, she failed to keep her own men loyal. By law, both must be punished. However, since the Queen does not want to lose 2 valuable commanders, she declares a magical duel. The winner will keep their rank, and the loser will die. Later, Severo brings Ike to her room to explain the rules. The Queen will provide special magical creatures called dolls. The commanders will not fight directly. Instead, they will each control 50 dolls. Since all the dolls have the exact same strength, victory depends entirely on brilliant leadership. The commander who destroys all the enemy's dolls wins. Severo surprises Ike by choosing him to take her place. She knows his talent as a leader is much greater than hers, and she trusts him completely with her life. Ike feels the heavy burden but accepts the challenge. He returns to his office and asks Sadie what she thinks is the best way to win a battle. He explains his logic. A sword is better than a dagger, a spear is better than a sword, and a bow is better than all of them because it attacks from a safe distance. He decides he needs a weapon that is totally unknown to the demons. He chooses to invent guns. He asks Severo to use her powerful alchemy to create them, but she admits she cannot craft a complex machine she has never seen before. Meanwhile, Bastio's aide tells him that Severo is sending Ike to fight, thinking she is simply too afraid to fight Bastio herself. Bastio proudly looks at his weapons, including swords made from black dragon fangs, and orders his men to prepare even more dolls for the battle. Later, Ike steps out of his bath in his true, normal human form. Suddenly, DubbedAnime appears right in his room. Ike completely panics because he is not wearing his disguise. However, she simply tosses a package to him. Inside are the exact guns he wanted to build. She calmly calls him by his real name. Ike is completely shocked. But the queen explains that the great wizard Romberg told her everything. He gave Ike all his knowledge and revealed his human identity to her long ago. Ike asks why she is helping a human. The demon queen explains her ultimate wish. She wants to build a brand new world, and to do that, she needs as many highly capable people to serve her as possible. Realizing her grand vision, Ike promises to follow her commands. Ike quickly gathers his team. A demon named Fiorentina brings him coal, sulfur, and saltpeter. Ike mixes them and creates a massive explosion that blows a hole in the wall. He explains to his shock team that this is called gunpowder. He then orders Severo to shrink her lead metal down to the exact size of the gun barrel and make 500 bullets. The arena is fully set. Bastio loudly laughs at Ike's dolls because they are only wearing normal armor. Bastio reveals that his dolls are wearing thick, indestructible steel armor, a special gift from the demon queen herself. Ike is surprised, realizing the queen gave both sides powerful gifts just to test who is truly the smartest leader. The battle begins. Bastio's dolls fire arrows, then charge forward with heavy spears and swords, destroying many of Ike's dolls. Bastio fiercely mocks Ike, asking if defending is his only tactic. But Ike remains perfectly calm. Suddenly, Ike's dolls raise their guns and fire the very first bullets. The loud bangs shock the entire arena. The flying bullets easily pierce right through Bastio's thick steel armor, destroying all 50 of his dolls in seconds. The queen declares the match over. She gives Bastio two final choices: end his own life with honor, or she will kill him herself. Bastio coldly replies that he chooses a different option. High above the arena, his hidden aide fires an explosive arrow right at the queen's back. She catches it, but it explodes violently in her hand. As multiple explosions rock the arena, an army of terrifying skeletons rises from the ground. Bastio laughs like a maniac, loudly declaring himself the new demon king. In the past, the great wizard Romberg defeated a pack of wild wolves inside a dark cave and discovered two sleeping human children. Back in the present, Bastio's terrifying skeleton army begins attacking the spectators in the arena, causing massive explosions everywhere. Bastio proudly tells Ike that the Demon King's army will soon be his. He offers Ike a deal: join him, and he will let Ike command the entire 7th Legion. Ike calmly refuses the tempting offer. When Bastio asks why, Ike plainly states, because you will never be the Demon King. Bastio laughs mockingly, calling Ike a smart but foolish man. Suddenly, the skeleton army completely surrounds Ike and attacks. Ike uses powerful wind magic to blow them away, then fires dark magic spears at the charging soldiers. One skeleton throws its own explosive skull, but Ike easily blocks it with a magic barrier. He flies high into the air, dodging flying spears, and blasts the soldiers below with dark magic. Ike then flies straight at Bastio and blasts him directly. However, he suddenly hears Bastio laughing. Bastio's severed head is sitting on the ground, while his headless body sneaks up right behind Ike with a sword. Ike quickly jumps back. Bastio mocks him, revealing that he and his soldiers are all undead. The entire army rises again, throwing more explosive skulls. A ghoul attacks from behind, but Ike completely freezes its arm and shatters it. He then uses a time-stopping spell to clear the soldiers, but they just keep regenerating. Bastio brags that his undead army is totally unlimited, while Ike's magic will eventually run out. Bastio's hidden aide fires an explosive arrow from above, but Ike blocks it. Realizing that dark magic is completely useless against moving corpses and that he is wasting his energy, Ike gets a brilliant idea. As the skeletons jump at him again, he casts a strange, glowing magic that instantly turns them all to ash. Bastio is completely shocked. Suddenly, Severo appears out of nowhere and cuts off the aide's hand before he can shoot another arrow. The rest of the 7th Legion arrives and destroys the remaining skeletons outside the arena. The Demon Queen steps forward and gives Bastio one last chance, a one-on-one duel against Ike. If Bastio wins, she will spare his life. Bastio furiously charges at Ike in close combat. He tries to break Ike's magic shield and fires dark magic. Ike counters with a brilliant light magic that touches Bastio's arm, instantly turning it to ash. Severo is completely stunned. Realizing Ike is using extremely rare white magic, she wonders how he learned it and why the Demon Queen is not surprised at all. A flashback reveals Ike as a child asking Romberg if magic can bring a dead flower back to life. Romberg explained that white magic can do it, but it is too difficult for demons. White magic strictly requires a kind, pure heart that truly cares for others, which demons naturally lack. However, since Ike has a human heart, he can learn it. Romberg warned him to keep it a strict secret because it is a deadly and terrifying weapon against demons. Back in the fight, Ike tells Bastio that his dream is way too big. Bastio gladly sacrificed his own men and betrayed his allies just for pure ambition. And Ike refuses to forgive that. Believing that a ruler who oppresses his people creates a flawed world, Ike silently apologizes to his grandfather and completely destroys Bastio with his powerful white magic. Severo asks if Romberg taught him that spell, and Ike says yes. Severo smiles, revealing she actually prepared her army to support him just in case the duel went wrong. The Demon Queen then announces that since Bastio is gone, she has no one to lead the 3rd Legion. She officially promotes Ike to be the new commander and leaves to wait for his answer. Later, a very angry Severo confronts the Demon Queen. She argues that Ike belongs to her 7th Legion and she should decide his future. The Queen calmly replies that they both work for her, but she wants to hear the final answer directly from Ike. Ike walks into the room and announces his decision. He says his ultimate goal is to build a world where humans and demons live together peacefully. Then, he takes off his mask, fully revealing his human face to the Queen. He politely declines the promotion, saying he still has much to learn from Severo. Instead, he promises to turn the city of Avalias into the very first place where humans and demons truly coexist. As they walk away, Severo is completely confused. She asks why he revealed his human secret, why the Queen was not surprised, and how he can be so calm. Ike just smiles warmly. He explains that his plan is already working. His demon soldiers and the human citizens are finally starting to adapt to each other and live together in peace. The very next day, Ike tells Sadie that the city's rich dirt and perfect climate are ideal for the Norfolk system. He explains this is a brilliant farming method to grow different crops without ever letting the fields rest. All around them, the townspeople are happily working together to rebuild the city. However, far away, a massive allied human army begins to march, violently destroying demons along their path. While Ike uses his water magic to easily irrigate the fields, Sadie asks him to explain the farming system. Ike gently explains that instead of just growing wheat and waiting for the dirt to recover, they will plant several different crops at the very same time. For example, they will grow clover to feed the farm animals, which then provides fresh meat. By rotating the crops, the dirt never loses its power. If this smart plan works, no human or demon will ever have to suffer from hunger again. At sunset, Ike returns to his busy office. Sadie smiles and mentions she heard he was just promoted to vice commander. Ike humbly brushes it off, saying the position was just empty. Suddenly, Jiran rushes into the room with terrible news. The massive human alliance of kings has started moving, and they completely crushed the powerful 2nd Demon Battalion at Alesta. Ike realizes this human alliance is a very serious threat. He explains to Sadie that the alliance is an ancient treaty. Whenever a single human nation cannot beat the Demon King, all the human countries unite their armies into one unstoppable force. He notes that this alliance has happened 3 times in history, and the demons lost every single time. Jiran asks in a panic if they will survive. Ike seriously answers no. He predicts the human army will attack Avalias next because it is the main frontline protecting the major base of Arsenum. While demons are very strong in one-on-one fights, they will be totally crushed by the massive numbers and perfect teamwork of the human army. Ike secretly worries that his beautiful dream of humans and demons living in peace will be completely destroyed. He tells Jiran they desperately need a new way to overcome the massive enemy numbers. Ike meets with Severo and Fiorentina to discuss making firearms using their magic. Fiorentina delivers bad news. Making guns with alchemy is completely impossible. The magic lacks the exact precision needed for tiny moving parts, causing the fake guns to jam and fail after just one shot. Severo asks why they cannot just wipe out the humans with giant explosive magic. Ike angrily replies that massive explosions will destroy the city, making it impossible to rebuild. They need simple, reliable weapons that any normal soldier can use. Fiorentina suggests they craft the metal and wood pieces separately, but they need master metalworkers. Ike realizes they need the dwarves. However, the Great Dwarf King is currently locked away in a high-security human prison. Deep inside a dark cell, the Dwarf King Gunter remembers his tragic past. The cruel humans invaded his peaceful kingdom, demanding his advanced technology. When Gunter bravely refused, the human commander threatened to kill his young son Patson. Gunter was thrown into a dark cell, and his people were chased away. Back in the present, Gunter suddenly hears guards falling outside. The demon girl Lilith kicks the door open. Confused, Gunter asks what demons want with him. Annoyed by his questions, Lilith simply uses magic to put him to sleep. Lilith and Jiran carry him out, draining the energy of the attacking guards to escape. Watching from a distance, Ike sighs because they caused a huge scene, and he quickly uses his earth magic to block the pursuing human guards. Gunter later wakes up in a safe place. Ike hands him a rifle and asks if he can build it. Gunter studies it, noting that while it looks simple, the mechanics are incredibly complex. Still, he confidently says he can make it. However, he angrily refuses to help a demon, assuming Ike just wants to use him as a slave like the humans did. Ike calmly asks Gunter to follow him. Ike walks him through Avalias. Gunter is totally shocked to see humans and demons happily working together. Ike shares his grand dream of absolute peace and asks for Gunter's help. Gunter coldly replies that he does not care about human peace because humans destroyed his home and scattered his family. Ike promises that if Gunter builds the weapons, he will personally ask the Demon King to rebuild the Dwarven Kingdom. Gunter gets furious, thinking it is a cruel joke, because a kingdom needs its people, and his people are gone. Smiling, Ike leads him to a massive camp filled with rescued dwarves. Gunter cries tears of joy as he hugs his beloved son, Patson. Patson explains that the demons saved them from death, gave them fresh food, and reunited their broken family. Grateful, Patson tells Ike the dwarves are absolutely ready to work. Seeing Ike's true kindness, Gunter finally agrees to help achieve this peaceful dream. He shakes Ike's hand, secretly shocked that the demon's hand feels exactly as warm as a human's. Meanwhile, in the human camp, a soldier reports the prison break to his commander. The arrogant commander laughs, wondering why demons would ever want a useless old dwarf. Another soldier rushes in with a scouting report. He states that the demon army in Avalias currently has about 500 soldiers. The human general smiles wickedly and asks for the size of his own human army. The soldier proudly answers that they have 12 full regiments, meaning a massive army of 12,000 men. The next day, Ike and Geron climb a mountain to collect natural rock salt from a cave. Meanwhile, the dwarves are working hard to make enough weapons. After that, Geron trains the demon army on how to use their new rifles. At the same time, Ike meets with the 2nd Battalion commanders. Gamos, the goal leader, says, "I cannot believe you fixed the gate so fast. What kind of magic did you use?" Ike smiles and replies, "I just divided the work shifts, and I actually paid the human workers." Bayo, the werewolf leader, adds, "I heard this method works way better than enslaving them." Suddenly, Kashana, the winged lion leader, drops from the ceiling. She says, "Long time no see, vice commander." Ike tells her just Ike is fine, but she insists on respecting the chain of command. Fiorentina then reminds everyone, "You already know Severo put her deputy in charge of this battle. You must follow his orders." Gamos agrees with no problem. Bayo smiles and says, "I heard you defeated Bastio. You are truly impressive." Kashana promises that all 3 leaders will follow Ike's commands. Ike thanks them. But then Kashana asks the big question. The enemy has 12,000 soldiers, and we only have 2,000. How are we gonna fight? Bayo easily suggests, "If each of us kills 6 enemies, we win." Ike shakes his head. Not everyone is as strong as a werewolf. Kashana suggests a night attack, but Ike explains that the enemy mages are ready with light and detection magic. Gamos asks for the real plan. Ike explains, "We will fight them right here. A massive army looks strong, but it can collapse fast if panic spreads. We will let them attack, make them think they are winning, and then completely crush their morale. We will end this quickly and smoothly, with as few losses as possible." Meanwhile, the human general and the allied army are marching toward Avalias. A demon spots them, and Geron rushes to warn Ike. Looking at the demon base, the human general sneers. "Their army is so small, how disappointing." His commander agrees, "We brought the strongest warriors from every kingdom. This is not even a war anymore." The general smirks, "You are right. This is an extermination. Wipe them all out." The commander orders the attack. Soldiers launch huge rocks and heavy arrows at the city, but Ike quickly creates a massive magic barrier, blocking everything. The enemy commander is shocked. The general shouts, "Fire again." They launch another wave, but Ike's barrier holds strong. Ike thinks to himself, "Just as I expected, we are ready." However, the general just laughs. He orders another strike, and this time, the enemy mages use magic to break Ike's barrier. "Move now," the general commands. The first unit charges straight toward the city. Geron tells Ike the riflemen are ready, but Ike says not yet. Let the others handle this. A giant ghoul starts throwing massive boulders, and the other ghouls rain arrows down on the humans, piercing their armor. But the humans fight back, firing arrows at the giant ghoul until he crashes to the ground. The enemy soldiers finally reach the wall, set up ladders and start climbing. The ghouls desperately throw rocks to push them back. Watching from afar, the human commander says, "Not bad for demons. But it is only a matter of time." The general suddenly asks, "What is for dinner?" The commander looks confused. The general smirks, "I like eating my meals in peace. I will finish this battle before dinner." When the commander asks how, the general gives a cold order. "Use the catapults." The commander panics, "But our own soldiers are down there." The general does not care. It does not matter. He orders the catapults to fire. Ike tries to create his barrier again, but the enemy mages block his magic. Heavy rocks crash into the wall, hitting both humans and demons. Fiorentina is shocked impossible. They attack their own allies. The human general laughs evilly and orders the 2nd unit to charge through the broken wall. The demons rush to defend the fortress, while Ike watches, boiling with pure anger. The human general sips his coffee, completely bored, and signals his 3rd unit to attack. Watching them, Ike thinks to himself, "This battle is moving faster than expected." Suddenly, the wolf army jumps in and strikes the allied army fast. The ghouls fire bullets at the soldiers trying to enter the city. The bullets easily pierce their armor, forcing the humans to fall back. Seeing this, Ike also signals a retreat. Fiorentina remembers their earlier meeting. Ike had told them, "Fight with all your strength." Bayo, the werewolf commander, got angry. "Are you mocking us just because you are vice commander now?" he asked. Fiorentina calmed him down and told Ike to continue. Ike asked Bayo, "How long can you fight at full strength?" Bayo guessed about an hour. "Good," Ike said, "but your troops will not last that long." Bayo admitted they might only last half an hour. Ike then gave his order. "Let us assume they will only last 10 minutes. Fight at your maximum power for exactly 10 minutes, then pull back no matter what happens." Back in the present, Fiorentina uses thorn magic to seal the broken wall. She laughs, everything is going according to plan. Suddenly, the ghouls smash through the wall again to charge the enemy. Fiorentina sighs, thinking, "I just fixed that. But Ike did say our troops messing up the plan was actually part of the plan. She remembers Ike explaining the next step. When Bayo retreats, Gamos and his goals will join the fight. Bayo had been insulted, thinking Ike did not trust them. But Gamos understood. You want us to fight in shifts, just like how we fixed the gates, right? Ike nodded. Exactly. Long battles make you tired. We will fight in shifts to wear them out, while we stay fresh. Bayo asked how they could beat such a huge army. Ike smiled. That is why we have magic users and archers. We will lure them into one spot. He asked Fiorentina if she could handle her part. She promised to do it even if it cost her life. But Ike quickly stopped her. No. Do not sacrifice yourself. The whole point of ending this quickly is to keep everyone alive. Do not forget that. On the battlefield, the human army readies their catapults again. But suddenly, heavy rocks rain down on them. The winged lion unit flies above, completely destroying the enemy weapons. Their leader remembers asking Ike for their role. Ike had said, your unit will fly over the battlefield and destroy their siege weapons. I already scouted the enemy. They have 12,000 men. Their general is a noble, but he is a coward. He only cares about his own comfort. If things go bad, he will run away to save himself. That is when we will catch him. Bayo had asked why they could not just kill him. Ike replied, leave him to me. Just please, no one make any selfish moves. The leaders agreed to trust him. When Fiorentina asked about Severo's role, Ike simply said, she has a different mission, and it might be the most important one. Meanwhile, Severo is hiding in the forest, waiting to ambush the enemy's backup forces. She spots a strange, highly skilled warrior. Back at the fortress, the demon army is completely controlling the fight. The human soldiers start to panic. Are we not supposed to outnumber them? One cries out. Their forces should only be a fraction of ours. A human soldier reports back to his general. We broke through the gates, but the demons wiped out our second and third units. The general is furious. The commander warns him that the area is no longer safe and suggests a retreat. Instead, the angry general orders a full-scale attack. The commander tries to argue, but the general snaps. Do not argue with me. If we cannot beat them 5-1, send 10-1. If that is not enough, send 20. The general then declares he will join the fight himself to boost morale, mostly because he does not want to look weak for failing to take a small fortress. The commander shouts to the troops, everyone attack. The general is with us. Wipe them out. Excited by this, the human soldiers cheer and charge forward. Suddenly, the ground beneath the humans cracks open. Why did our mages not block this magic? They panic. It turns out, the ghouls had already captured all the human mages. The general's horse gets spooked, throws him to the ground and runs off. Ike calmly walks up to the general. Are you the commander? Ike asks. My men died trying to find you. You must take responsibility. If I kill you, your army will just blame you and run away. But if you order a retreat right now, I will let you live. The general arrogantly laughs. If I am dead, who will order the retreat? Suddenly, a voice says, then there is no other option. It is Gunnar. He swings his axe and slashes the general's stomach. The general falls bleeding heavily. Do you remember me? Gunnar growls. Time for payback. But before Gunnar can finish him off, Ike uses magic chains to pull Gunnar back. Gunnar furiously yells at Ike to let him go. Terrified, the bleeding general screams, fine. We will retreat. Please do not kill me. He quickly orders his entire army to fall back. Afterwards, Gunnar warns Ike. He will come back one day. I am grateful to you, but you will regret keeping him alive. Gunnar then walks away. Ike simply thinks I do not care. We will be much stronger by then. Inside the fortress, the townspeople and demons celebrate their massive victory. We feast tonight, they cheer. The battalion leaders watch Ike with respect. The commander was right to choose him, they agree. Bayo adds, he even gave us a chance to fight. I think he could have won this all by himself. Fiorentina smiles and shakes her head. No. Before the battle, Ike said this crazy plan would only work because he had allies he could trust. He also said this battle was won before it even started. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, the enemy backup commander receives the retreat order. He looks at Severo and says, you survived. He gives a small laugh. We will meet again, he promises before leading his forces away. The next day, Severo congratulates Ike. Well done on winning the battle. Ike modestly replies, the victory belongs to the entire 7th Battalion. Severo smiles, modest as always. Now, for your next mission, I want you to go to Zenobia. After you defeated the Allied army, humans will likely launch a full-scale attack on us soon. Ike agrees they need a plan and asks if there is a supply problem. You are very smart, Severo replies. Avalius is growing more crops thanks to you, but it is not enough to feed an entire army. Food is running low because of the war. I want you to talk to the trade union and make a deal. Ike asks if she is ordering him to speak directly with Zenobia's leader. When she says yes, Ike sighs, you always give me impossible missions. Will humans even agree to negotiate with demons? Severo smirks, that is exactly why I am sending you. When Ike worries about rebuilding Avalius, Severo assures him she will handle it. Ike returns to his office where Lilith and Jiron rush in. Jiron asks, are you really going to Zenobia in the south? Ike confirms he will be gone for a while. Jiron immediately offers to go and protect him, even at the cost of his life. Lilith argues that protecting Ike is her job. Jiron insists he is the strategist, but Ike stops them both. I need you two to stay here. Refugees are starting to flood into Avalius, which means more problems. Lilith, keep the city safe. Jiron, you are in charge of city management. Lilith grins, if I see a human causing trouble, I will smash them and throw them in jail. Do not blame me for what happens. Ike quickly warns her, no violence. Jiron worries he will not know what to do, but Ike hands him a manual. Just do your best. This city is on the front lines, and you are the only ones I trust. Ike sets off with Sadie, traveling without his usual mask and cloak. Sadie asks about Zenobia. Ike explains, it is not a country. It is a powerful trading city. They have unique crops, fine spices, and everything we need. The fate of the demon army depends entirely on my negotiation skills. Sadie asks if humans and demons have ever made a deal before. No, Ike admits. Sadie worries it will be hard. That is why I brought you, Ike says. You will be my proof that humans and demons can live together in peace. On their way, they hear terrible screams. Bandits are attacking a carriage. The bandit leader opens the carriage door and finds a beautiful girl inside. But before he can grab her, he is violently pulled away. The girl looks out and sees all the bandits tied up in thick, magical vines. Ike steps forward. I came to save you, he says, but he is suddenly shocked. The girl looks exactly like Sadie. The remaining bandits rush at Ike, but he uses his plant magic to completely restrain them. One of the girl's injured guards is amazed. Impossible. He defeated the Redbeard pirates that easily. Ike heals the guards and the girl introduces herself. I am Yuria Octave, daughter of the leader of Zenobia. Unnoticed by them, a mysterious figure watches from the shadows. Yuria invites them into her carriage, thanking them. You have incredible magic, she tells Ike. Are you a noble? Ike lies, I am a sorcerer named Rake from Esmoth, and this is my maid, Sadie. Yuria mentions it is her first time leaving Zenobia. When Ike asks why, she explains she went to meet a strong man for an arranged marriage, but it did not work out. I cannot believe any man would reject you, Ike says. Yuria smiles. No, I rejected him. And I am glad I did. But her face looks sad. They arrive in the city and meet the commander. You are Rake, the one who saved my daughter, she asks. I am Altria Octave, leader of the trade union. Ike thinks he got lucky running into her daughter, but Altria quickly sends Yuria away. Once they are alone, Altria gets straight to the point. I am busy. What does a member of the demon army want from me? Ike is shocked she knows. Altria explains there is no sorcerer named Rake in Esmoth. My daughter said you are extremely powerful. Plus, the demons are at war with the human alliance right now. It is obvious, but it is strange to see a human working for the demons. Ike admits the truth. I am Ike, governor of Avalius. I am human by birth, but I was raised by a demon. Altria asks what he wants. A trade agreement, Ike says. Altria refuses. Trading with you is too risky. Are you not trying to destroy humanity? Ike explains his goal is actually coexistence between humans and demons. Altria is skeptical. Demons are demons. How do I know you will not change your mind? She demands proof, and when Ike says he has none, she tells him to leave. Desperate, Ike makes an offer. I heard the Redbeard pirates are causing major problems for your union. I can solve that for you. Altria sarcastically asks if the demon army will fight pirates. Ike says yes. Altria admits the pirates are destroying the city's budget and threatening her position. I will reconsider your offer, on 2 conditions, she says. First, destroy the pirates. Second, you must marry my daughter. Ike is stunned. What? But I am from the demon army. Altria smiles. You are smart, powerful, and will likely become a top demon commander one day. It is a smart move for my family. Suddenly, a guard bursts in. The Redbeard pirates are attacking the port again. Altria looks at Ike. There is no time. Do you accept my conditions? Ike rushes to the port, but he is too late. The pirates have already attacked, destroyed buildings with cannons, and escaped. Ike finds a trapped soldier under some rocks and lifts the heavy rubble to save him. The soldier explains the pirates were targeting a specific cargo ship. Their captain, Kurosa, is a dangerous mage, the soldier warns. Ike decides to prepare a counterattack for the pirates' next move. Later, while they plan for the battle, Sadie feels useless and goes to help in the kitchen. She meets a girl who looks a lot like Yuria. You look just like her, the girl says, but refuses Sadie's help, explaining the commander would be angry if a guest worked. Meanwhile, Yuria asks to speak with Ike alone in her room. About our marriage, she begins. Ike, feeling nervous, offers to convince her mother to cancel it. No, Yuria says. I am happy. I loved you from the moment we met. Ike is shocked. We met less than 12 hours ago. You do not even know me. Yuria starts crying. So, you do not love me. Ike stammers. It is not that. It is just too sudden. Standing outside the door, Sadie overhears everything. Nobles are amazing, she thinks to herself. They propose so fast. But suddenly Sadie feels a strange, painful emotion in her chest. Sensing someone outside, Ike stops and Sadie quickly runs away. Feeling sad and confused, Sadie wanders into the market. She does not notice someone stalking her. As she walks down an alley with a guard, her stalker strikes from behind and kidnaps her. Sadie wakes up dizzy in a strange room. A group of rough men surround her. Is this the girl the captain wanted? One asks. Sadie's kidnapper smiles. The captain will be very happy to have the daughter of Zenobia as leader. Sadie panics and runs for the door. She throws it open, only to realize with horror, she is trapped on the pirates' ship. Captain Kurosa walks in. The kidnapper proudly says, "I brought the leader's daughter." Kurosa stares at Sadie. That is not her. But whatever, I need a new maid anyway. Back in the city, Sadie's guard wakes up with a broken arm. He apologizes to Altria. "I am sorry, she was kidnapped on my watch." Another soldier guesses it was the pirates escaping to sea. Ike bursts into the room. "I am going after her. Give me a ship." Altria nods. "Alright, I will give you two." As Ike sails out to sea, he deeply remembers all his good moments with Sadie. On the pirate ship, Kurosa forces Sadie into a maid outfit. When she asks why, he sneers. "A maid must serve her master and do whatever pleases him. Just follow my orders." Sadie feels disgusted. She remembers how kind Ike was when they first met, telling her, "You are my maid now. Cook and clean for me and I will protect you." Sadie comes up with a plan. She offers to cook a meal for Kurosa and he agrees. In the kitchen, two pirates guard her. She asks them for strong alcohol, claiming it adds flavor to the food. When they hand it over, she pours it on the stove, creating a massive fire. The guards panic. Sadie quickly throws the rest of the alcohol on one pirate, setting his clothes on fire. While the other tries to help him, Sadie escapes. While hiding from other pirates, Sadie opens a large crate and finds piles of gold. This is the stolen city treasure, she realizes. "I have to tell Ike." But then she remembers she is trapped in the middle of the sea. Looking at a nearby candle, she gets a brilliant idea to signal for help. Soon a pirate runs to Kurosa shouting the ship is on fire. Meanwhile, Sadie hides inside a wooden barrel, desperately hoping Ike will find her. The pirates search the room and pull her out of the barrel, throwing her to the floor. She bravely fights back, throwing the heavy lid at them and tries to run again. But Kurosa uses magic to bind her leg to the floor. "I will not kill you," he laughs evilly. "Today we will just chop off your leg." A pirate raises a heavy axe. Sadie braces herself. Suddenly a massive blast of wind knocks the pirate away. Ike stands there, looking furious. "Who are you?" Kurosa demands, glares at him. "I am the one who promised to protect her. And you will pay the price." The pirates rush at Ike, but he blasts them with powerful lightning magic. He blocks their weapons with a magical barrier and uses a wind tornado to blow the rest off the ship entirely. Ike kneels beside Sadie. "Are you alright?" he asks gently. Crying, Sadie says, "Yes, thank you for saving someone like me. I am just a slave. You could have left me behind." Ike shakes his head. "You are wrong. I will never abandon you. I saw the fire signal you made. I knew you trusted me to find you." "Well done, Sadie." Angered, Kurosa shouts, "You are no ordinary mage." He casts a deadly spell, but Ike easily blocks it. "That girl is mine." Kurosa roars, firing a massive wave of water magic. Ike grabs Sadie and dodges, but the water tracks them. Ike quickly creates a magic shield and retreats inside the ship. Kurosa attacks again, tearing the pirate ship apart. Floating in the air, Ike looks down at the pirate captain. "I told you, you will pay the price. Your days are over." Ike unleashes his own ultimate water magic, completely destroying the pirate ship. He captures Kurosa, tosses him onto his rescue ship, and sails safely back to the city. The next day, Altria is impressed. "I did not expect you to actually capture him alive." Ike calmly replies, "I do not like unnecessary killing." Altria smirks, strange words for a demon army commander. "But a promise is a promise. I will grant you the trade agreement, and we will keep it completely secret. The human kings must not find out." Ike agrees, and they sit down to finalize the deal. Meanwhile, back at the demon base, a healer treats Severo's severe wounds. Severo asks Fiorentina how much food is left. Fiorentina looks grim. "Enough for 3 days, maybe. I think luring us to attack this place was a trap all along." Severo realizes the truth. "They are trying to starve us out. We have to attack." Fiorentina protests, "But you are badly injured." Severo looks determined. "Will waiting make things better? I am not the type to sit and wait for death. If I fall, I will take as many enemies with me as I can." At the same time, Altria throws a massive party to celebrate the pirates' defeat and the new trade deal. As Ike enters, he hears snobby nobles whispering, "That is the man who stole Yuria's heart. He looks so ordinary." Yuria gently tells Ike, "Ignore them. To me, you are the most handsome man in the world." Ike politely thanks her. Then, Altria walks up to him. "Take good care of Yuria," she says. Ike is confused. "What do you mean?" Altria smiles sharply. "You signed the agreement. Now you must fulfill my second condition." Suddenly an announcer shouts, "The engagement ceremony of Yuria and Ike will now begin." Ike is completely shocked. He looks at Altria, who coldly whispers, "If you refuse, the trade deal is cancelled." Before Ike can say a word, the ceiling crashes open. Glass shatters everywhere as thick smoke fills the room. Out of the smoke steps Deroctine. She looks directly at Ike and warns, "You must come with me right now. Severo is in terrible danger." Severo took control of Alesta, but it was a trap. The enemy lured her into the castle and completely surrounded her. Ike asks, "How many of them are there?" Deroctine replies, "Around 5,000. I have prepared your battalion. You must go save Severo." At the same time, a soldier reports to General Irodel, the same man Severo met in the forest before. "Alesta will fall soon," the soldier says. The general smirks, "Time for my entrance." Meanwhile, Fiorentina and her soldiers try to fight back, but there are too many enemies. Suddenly, lightning strikes near her, and a powerful enemy mage appears, saying, "Your time is over." Back in his office, Ike uses teleportation magic to bring Sadie safely home. He puts on his cloak and mask. Jiran rushes in, big problem. The Human Alliance launched a full-scale attack. Ike steps onto the balcony and asks they reached here. Jiran nods. Yes, but a girl saved us. She was incredibly strong and defeated them all by herself. Ike realizes it was Deroktine. He tells Jiran, "I am heading to Alesta right now to support Severo." When Ike asks about their troop numbers, Jiran says they only have about 500 soldiers left, and they still need to leave guards behind to protect the city. Suddenly, Gunther the dwarf enters. "I think I can repay my debt," he says. Ike replies, "The guns you gave us already repaid that." Gunther shakes his head. "Dwarf craftsmen made the guns, but we also have 100 dwarf warriors ready to fight for you." Ike asks if he is sure, since this is not their war. Gunther answers, "If the demon army wins and unites the world, you will rebuild our nation." Right. Ike promises they will, but admits the demon army is struggling right now. Gunther smiles, "If we lose, then I was wrong. But you gave every wandering dwarf a home. We must return the favor." Next, the human citizens enter. "We want to help too," they announce. Iki is surprised. "Are you sure? We are the demon army." One citizen steps forward. "The old ruler taxed us to death. Since you took over, our city has prospered. Your soldiers died to protect us, and you saved us from starving. Please, let us repay you." Moved, Ike splits the forces. Half will march to Alesta and half will guard the city. But he gives a strict order to those staying behind. "If the Human Alliance attacks again while we are gone, surrender. Do not fight. If they think you are helping demons, they will execute you. I do not want anyone to die." The next day, Ike and his army begin the 4-day march to Alesta. Ike thinks to himself, "Our army grew thanks to everyone, but the enemy still outnumbers us. I need a plan, and I hope Severo can hold on." Back in Alesta, Severo is losing the fight. She thinks, "They will wipe us out unless I can separate the enemies inside from the ones outside." She knows using big magic right now would hurt her own men. She needs higher ground. Suddenly, an enemy hits her with wind magic. She quickly uses her plant magic to tie them up and escapes. Exhausted, she finally reaches the right spot. She starts casting a massive spell on the outside troops, but suddenly an arrow pierces her body. It was shot by General A. Roddle. Severo instantly loses consciousness. By sunrise, human soldiers are brutally torturing the captured demons. A. Roddle enters the room where Severo is chained up. "Is she dead?" he asks his men. "No, still alive. Demons are tough," a guard replies. Severo glares at him. "Do not underestimate me. Weaklings like you could never kill me." A. Roddle steps closer. "We meet again, Severo." She spits back. "If I had killed you in the forest, I would not be here." A. Roddle smiles coldly. "I heard one of your commanders is very loyal. I am sure he will not let you be taken." Severo gets furious, realizing the truth. "That was your plan all along." A. Roddle nods. "I ordered the extermination of your entire 7th Battalion." Severo demands him to kill her to end the humiliation, but he simply walks away. A few days later, on the march, Gunther visits Ike's tent. He reports that the humans and demons are fighting well together, and the new weapons are ready. "When do we attack?" he asks. Ike replies, "The situation is bad. I sent Jiran to scout this morning. We will decide when he returns." Soon, Jiran looks through his spyglass at the castle and freezes in terror. He rushes back to camp. "Ike, you need to see this." Ike looks through the spyglass and sees Severo's cloak hanging from the castle walls, a signal that she is dead. Ike is shocked, but he thinks carefully. She is still alive. Ike concludes, "I was terrified they might have killed her already." Gunther asks, "Could the cloak be a trick to make us think she is alive when she is actually dead?" Ike shakes his head. Feeding 5,000 soldiers is hard. They want this war to end fast. Their general is smart. He wants to wipe out all our battalions, so killing Severo makes no sense. He is using her as bait. But she might be too badly injured to move. Gunther asks, "So we attack, even knowing it is a trap?" Ike looks determined. "Yes, we must act fast. We attack at dawn." At dawn, Ike casts wind magic to signal their arrival. The sudden attack makes the enemy soldiers panic. General A. Roddle calmly asks for a status report. A soldier replies, "We only lost a small section of the wall. There are about 500 enemies. We can destroy them easily." The humans launch catapults and fire arrows, but Ike blocks the rocks with a magic barrier and burns the arrows. A. Roddle orders his men to stop. "I prefer not to fight demons in the dark," he says. He realizes something is wrong. The demons should be rushing to save the prisoners, but they are barely moving. Their army is too small to break the defenses. Roddle guesses the enemy leader is Ike. He checks on Severo's cell, ensuring she is heavily guarded, and then calls for backup. Meanwhile, Lilith uses her shadow magic to sneak into Severo's cell. She rises from the ground and quickly takes out the guard. Outside, Ike wonders why the enemy is not moving. Have they figured out the plan? He blasts the walls with wind magic again. Watching this, Roddle smirks. "They never learn," he says. He makes sure his infantry, archers, and cavalry are ready. Convinced the demons cannot get closer, he plans to wait them out. Focus on wearing them down. We will finish them when they are exhausted. They start launching stones again. Inside the castle, Fiorentina wakes up to find the guards around her knocked out by Lilith's magic. Suddenly, an arrow hits her back. An enemy mage steps forward, smiling. Did you think you could escape? General Roddle knows your entire plan, he says, ordering his men to attack. But Lilith just laughs. That is exactly what Ike predicted. Time to regret being born. She gives a signal, and Ike immediately teleports the rifleman inside. The ghouls storm in and wipe out the enemy knights. Seeing Fiorentina badly injured, Severo goes into a blind rage. She destroys the mage's weapon, knocks him down, and completely crushes him. The remaining knights run away in terror. Lilith tries to calm Severo down, explaining this is all part of Ike's orders. Jiron rushes over, shouting that Fiorentina is still alive but needs immediate healing. Outside, General Roddle is shocked. Intruders have breached the walls out of nowhere. He watches in disbelief as the riflemen and ghouls take down his troops and destroy the catapults. Jiron signals the demons to pull back slightly, making room for the next phase. Ike signals the winged demons. They fly over the city and drop massive explosive barrels right on the enemy forces. As the explosions tear through the human defenses, Roddle is completely stunned. He orders his men to fall back to the main gates. Ike orders a full charge. A soldier warns Roddle that the demons are launching an all-out attack with zero gaps in their lines. Realizing he is beaten, Roddle orders a full retreat. As he escapes, he thinks to himself, I will never forget your name, Ike. The next day, the demon commanders gather. Bio is confused to see humans inside the castle. Gamas and Severo explain that these humans are Ike's forces from Avalius, and they helped save everyone using special dwarven weapons. Suddenly, Jiron enters with a letter from the enemy general. Ike reads it aloud. Roddle praises Ike's clever strategies and expresses a wish to fight him again someday. Ike smiles, calling Roddle a poet. Severo is angry, reminding them that this poet lured her into a deadly trap. But Ike respects Roddle's skill. Luck changes on the battlefield. The way he trapped you and his quick decision to retreat show his true intelligence. Without the dwarf weapons, we might have lost. Ike writes a polite reply, thanking Roddle for the praise, but stating he would rather meet somewhere other than a battlefield. He hands the letter to Jiron. Severo looks at Ike. Another victory for you, she asks. Did you really have to come save me? Ike simply answers, the demon queen ordered me to. I had no reason to refuse. Suddenly, they hear a loud noise outside. They walk out and see the demon queen Daraktine standing next to a massive dragon. Not knowing who she is, Jiron waves her away. This is no place for a little girl. Go play somewhere else. Severo sighs at his ignorance. Ike quickly pulls Jiron back and bows deeply, apologizing to the queen. Jiron is shocked, thinking the demon king is supposed to have 9 heads and 3 crowns. Lilith quickly silences him. Daraktine smiles gently. It is fine. Only a few demons know my true face. Daraktine turns to Severo, glad to see her wounds are healing. The 7th Battalion performed perfectly, the Queen announces. You all fought with great honor and deserve the highest praise. Then, she looks directly at Ike. You are too talented to just lead one battalion. Therefore, I officially appoint you as the commander of the 8th Legion.